This is the Berman Method podcast featuring Dr. Jake Berman and physician assistant Jenni Berman. We are here to treat problems and not symptoms. Disclaimer, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and not to treat anyone or to give medical advice. If you are interested in any information that we are giving and would like to use this for yourself, we recommend that you contact your primary care physician or reach out to us and ask us questions about yourself specifically. Enjoy.
And we're back. The Berman Method podcast, the dynamic duo. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. It's been a while, few weeks, but you got us both back. Dr. Jake Berman here with my lovely wife,
Jenni Berman, physician assistant.
Jenni Bear Berman, for all you that are BFFs with her. Welcome back, everybody. And we are together, and we need to start working on recording these, like the video aspect of it.
Oh, I don't know if people need to see that.
I think that they want to see the looks that you give me sometimes.
Well, just because you're like so happy. Not that there's anything against being so happy at this hour of the morning, but you're just so happy to look me in the eyes. So sweet. So sweet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
it's March.
It is March. March Madness. One of my favorite months out of the year for sports.
It is?
Yes.
You like basketball more than football?
I said one of my favorite months. Football is over the course of months. But March Madness is 1 month.
Oh.
So it's just a lot of excitement in a very short amount of time. This is the perfect example of David against Goliath, where hard work outworks talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Hard work outworks talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah, kind of. We could use us as an example where you tell me all the time that I don't have to work hard. Things just come easy to me. I didn't have to study versus you had to study your tail off to get through school, right?
Yeah.
And right now is a perfect example where you are in your business career. If we compare apples to apples, that being a year into your business where I was a year into my business, you're light years ahead of me because you work way harder than I did.
Well, I do work hard. However, I also have a guide. Okay.
Well, neither here nor there. March Madness is here, and this is the most excitement that I have for the entire month, sports-wise. Just watching college basketball, David against Goliath. You never know when a higher-seeded team... Well, I guess a lower seeded team. Yeah, lower seeded team, bigger number, lower seeded team can take out a number 2 or a number 3 seed. Or if we go back to 2018, I believe it was when it was the Riveteers or the Retrievers. The Retrievers beat the number 1 seeded Virginia. I have to say that because Don is a big Virginia fan, and I'll never let him live it down. And they went out in the first round. A number 16 seed beat a number 1 seed for the first and only time in history.
In history?
In history.
Wow. Things I've learned on our podcast, which is like really important.
It is, yeah. This is like really important. If that's ever on Final Jeopardy, now you will know that it was, oh man, I can't remember the initials, but it was the Retrievers that beat Virginia in the first round.
Good to know. I'll keep that in my back pocket. I might need it at our next trivia night.
Yeah, you never know.
Cool.
Okay.
So, March.
March is also
National Nutrition Month.
National Nutrition Month. Is it really, or did you just make that up?
No, it really is. And I think that's a little bit more important for longevity than March Madness.
Depends on who you ask.
Okay, well, it's important. And February was actually National Heart Month, and we didn't, I don't think, talk about that much back in February. So I think now doing a good combo of nutrition and heart is a good place to go.
Yeah, we really dropped the ball on talking about National Heart Month last month. And the only excuse that I think we have is there's just a lot of stuff going on last month.
There was a lot of important things.
A lot of important things, and we completely forgot. So anyways, for today, we're going to do a combination of heart health and nutrition and talking about how important fiber is.
Fiber.
One of the simplest things that you can do to promote heart health, right? And some of the misnomers or misconceptions on where to get fiber from.
Right. So maybe we should start out by talking about fiber. We're going to be using a lot the word carbohydrates and sugar. So I think starting there is the most important thing, talking about carbohydrates. Why look at me like that?
Because I'm going to start recording.
Recording what?
Some video.
Why? No, don't. You're making me nervous. Listen, you're wasting time here. All right. So carbohydrates.
The people have spoken and they want to see us on camera.
With our really non-ergonomical setup of podcasting.
Just say hi, Jenny.
Hi, everyone. Okay. Seriously, can we reel it in here? Oh, my word. Do you guys see what I have to deal with?
Carry on.
Hold on, I gotta breathe after that. All right. So carbohydrates. We have complex carbohydrates. We have simple carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are going to be things like our white flours, pastries, donuts, flour, rice, things that are not going to have much nutritional value for us. But then we have our complex carbohydrates, which are going to be things like our vegetables, our non-starchy vegetables, fruits. We have quinoa, sweet potato. These are going to be more of our complex carbohydrates, which actually give us some type of nutritional value, even though they are still technically carbohydrates. Got it? You look kind of confused.
No, it's just a lot. I think that one of the simplest ways to look at it is a baked potato is a simple carbohydrate, right?
Correct.
And a sweet potato is a complex.
It is, but it's one of like the lower end complex carbs.
Because it's full of sugar.
Well, it's just
not great.
Yeah.
But it is an example.
It is, yeah. Whereas things like your broccoli, cauliflower, green beans, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, bell peppers, those things are going to be a little bit more of your complex. Whereas potatoes, peas, and corn are more of your starchy vegetables. So that's where the sweet potato falls in. And then donuts, pastries, pastas, rice.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Oh, man, I just ate a whole large pizza.
Okay. Don't listen to him. So the reason we're talking about the carbohydrates is we hear that things like fruits are so important for the body because they do provide fiber, but they also are a sugar. So we have to understand that carbohydrates and sugar are used synonymously, that they go hand in hand, but we have some carbohydrates that are better for us because they do provide fiber.
Okay, starting to get it now.
So when we're talking about net carbohydrates, for instance, you always hear this word, the net carbs or net carbohydrates, or when you're reading things about the keto diet, they want the net carbs so low. The way we get the net carbohydrates is by taking the total carbohydrates and subtracting out the fiber. Now, that's why fiber is so important because the body doesn't absorb it. When we have more fiber, the body is not absorbing that as sugar.
Oh, I did not know that.
From the carbohydrates.
That is really interesting. Okay.
Right? If we have a cup of broccoli, the broccoli is going to have carbohydrates in it, but because of the amount of fiber that's in there, we're not absorbing the broccoli as sugar.
Okay, so hold on a second, just so everybody remembers, because we didn't talk about it explicitly on this podcast, but we have in the past, carbohydrates are broken down into sugars.
Yes.
So that's an important thing to remember, and that will help this make sense, because what Jenny's saying is, if there's no fiber and it's just a carb, when it's broken down, it's going to be absorbed as a sugar.
Right.
But if
it's stored as a sugar.
Stored as a sugar straight to the belly. But if it's a carbohydrate that has fiber in it, the fiber will subtract a percentage of that carbohydrate so that there's not as much sugar. It's not broken down as much into sugar.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's big. I did not know that.
Yes. So that's why, fruit, it technically, like certain fruits, not all, certain fruits have higher fiber content. And so that's why those fruits are going to be better for people who have prediabetes or diabetes or higher blood sugar, because the amount of fiber that's in those fruits decreases the amount of sugar that the person is storing when they do consume the fruit.
What's an example of a
better fruit?
Yeah, better fruit.
Berries. So blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, and then apples. Those are the top fruits for individuals. For fiber, or for individuals with blood sugar instability.
What's some of the worst ones?
Banana, melon. I know. Melon and banana are like just the worst.
Oh.
So bananas, they have fiber in them, but they also have a lot of carbohydrates for the size of a banana, right? So one medium-sized banana has 26 grams of carbohydrates. That's equivalent to like one cookie. Right?
Ugh.
In a banana. But bananas do have potassium. So it's this fine line of, how often should you eat banana? How much of a banana should you eat? What are you pairing with your banana with? So it decreases the amount that the body is absorbing as sugar. But anyways, we've kind of diverted away from fiber. Now, why do we need fiber?
I thought fiber was mostly for stool or bowel functions.
Okay. So fiber, it does help with bowel function. It helps with bulking stool, but it also helps with keeping the bowels moving consistently. So it is important for bowel function. Fiber also is important for lowering cholesterol. Did you know that?
Why would we want to lower our cholesterol?
Well, that brings us back to heart health. So you've probably heard of high cholesterol and high cholesterol being dangerous. They put you on statin medications as soon as your cholesterol is elevated. And what you don't hear enough and what's not talked about enough is that you can actually lower cholesterol with dietary changes. So
what? I don't have to take a synthetic made in a chemistry lab medication to lower my cholesterol?
The medication that causes tons of side effects.
You mean I don't have to take that? I could actually just change my diet and fix the problem, not treat the symptom?
I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's been a while since I put that in our intro where the Berman method is focused on treating problems, not symptoms. This is a perfect place to remind everybody.
You've already said David against Goliath like 10 times in this podcast, but say it one more time.
We're David against Goliath, Goliath being the corporate medical system. We're David going up against the corporate medical system where they're really focused on treating symptoms and we're focusing on treating the problem causing the symptom. There you go.
Right. So back to what we're saying about cholesterol. So bad cholesterol, which is your LDL, is typically related to saturated fats, which is the bad fat in foods. But then the HDL, the good cholesterol, is going to be related to cardiovascular exercise and good fats and foods, which fats can be a whole different topic. We'll talk about that at some other point. But the fiber can actually lower circulating cholesterol in the blood. So if we have less circulating cholesterol in the blood, the cholesterol buildup in the arteries of our heart is going to be a lot less.
Less circulating LDLs, the bad cholesterol.
Correct, the bad cholesterol. Right. So what happens with fiber is it prevents the body from being able to absorb, like we said, the sugar, but also bile salt. So if there's less of those circulating, the body actually will break down cholesterol to get bile. Is that a lot to say? Okay.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
It doesn't matter. The point is that the fiber will help with decreasing the amount of circulating cholesterol.
Circulating bad cholesterol.
Bad cholesterol. So getting more fiber through your vegetables is really, really important. Now you can take fiber supplements. However, there is a difference between a fiber supplement and dietary fiber. So like you take a fiber supplement every single day.
Yeah, Benefiber or whatever it's called.
Benefiber, which I think Benefiber is great. I think, it is a great additive of fiber, but it should not be your only source of fiber. You know what else fiber does?
No, tell me. Yes, go on, please. Anticipation's killing me.
Anyway, fiber actually helps with satiety.
What the heck is that?
Hunger. So the more fiber you have, the less hungry you are.
The less hunger you have?
Yeah. Yeah, the less hunger you have. The less hunger you are. But so, a lot of our clients, if they're not getting enough fiber, I notice that they will be hungrier throughout the day, specifically later in the afternoon or evening time. So my recommendation is to have fiber at every meal, vegetables at every meal.
Oh, come on.
So you do it. You put your Benefiber in your shake in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
You usually will have cucumbers with your snack.
Yep.
At least one snack.
Yep.
You have the pro granola in your yogurt, which is contains tons of fiber.
Okay.
And then you get vegetables at your lunch and your dinner.
Okay.
Most days.
Yeah, I guess I do have it with every meal.
And that really helps with your cholesterol. That helps with satiety or your hunger. That helps with your bowel movements. Your heart is healthy, your tummy is full, and your bowels are moving.
What more could you possibly want?
I know. It's amazing. From fiber. So fiber through complex carbohydrates, vegetables, quinoa, sweet potatoes is going to be really important for your metabolism and your heart.
Okay, but why does it matter? I understand everything that you're saying, but what does it look like in Bob or Sally's everyday life? Why does it matter if their cholesterol is down? Why does it matter if they're getting enough fiber and their metabolism is moving? What does it actually look like? Like layman's terms, what does it look like?
Longevity.
What does that mean?
Preventing early mortality.
Oh my gosh.
Early death.
An ounce of prevention. An ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure, right?
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to make it even more explicit. So this longevity thing that we keep talking about, if we don't have a healthy heart, what's the number one leading cause of death in America?
Heart disease?
Yeah, not the Rona. It's heart disease. Mm-hmm. So I could go way off on a soapbox tangent right now as far as what our government's priority is and making us a healthier population in general. But the number one cause of death is still heart disease. The number one cause of decreased quality of life is the side effects of heart disease, right?
Right.
That's the big thing. Is it's not like all of these people, let me say it this way. The number one cause of death is heart disease, right? But that's not saying that every single one of these people are doing great. They're living their life, having a great quality of life, and then one day they just have a heart attack and they die. That's not accurate. What is accurate is it is a snowball effect in the wrong direction, where it starts off with taking statins. That's to lower your cholesterol. Then the next thing is you get put on some type of blood pressure medication. Then the next thing is, I don't know, give me some examples.
Well, the side effects of statin medications, vitamin deficiencies, muscle pain. So you're moving less.
Yeah.
You're absorbing less nutrients.
Yeah. So this is just a slow snowball in the wrong direction. And over this course of years, usually, the quality of life is deteriorating. So heart disease is not just you're living your life to the fullest and then one day you have a heart attack. it really is a slow decrease in overall quality of life over a prolonged period of time. So one of the things that we like to talk about a lot, especially on this podcast, is adding life to years, not years to life. Because who cares if you live to be 110 if you can't get out of your damn chair since you're 90? And you've got all sorts of medications that you have to take for your congestive heart failure and your blood pressure and statins and everything else. Most people would agree that they would rather die at 90 if they're out living their life to the fullest the day before, rather than live an extra 20 years and not be able to do anything.
Right.
So adding life to years, not years to life. And that's what this is really about. So consuming the right amount of fiber, complex carbohydrates, to lower the bad cholesterol, the LDLs, so that your heart is functioning at a higher performance, right? It's performing better, so that your overall quality of life is better.
Right.
Is that good?
It is good. It's great. And the side effect to that is that your blood sugar will be lower too. So then you won't have diabetes either. Isn't that amazing?
So what you're telling me is there's no downside to this.
No downside. It very, very, very rarely, too much fiber can cause you to be constipated or bloated, but that's very rare that you're getting too much complex carbohydrates to cause that. Usually that will come from things like sugar alcohols, which that's, I know, another podcast.
Yeah,
don't look at me like that. But
yeah, we won't get into that one.
But it's things, people will eat protein bars because they're like, oh, these protein bars have so much fiber in them and they only have one net carbohydrate. But what the thing about the one net carbohydrate is they have these things called sugar alcohols, which actually can cause people to be bloated or constipated. So that's just a side note to pay attention to. You can ask us questions about that specifically.
Yeah, that happens to me on our hunting trips, where we'll go on our hunting trips and I will mow down 3, 4, sometimes Don't
say.
Sometimes 5 protein bars a day.
A day?
Well, those all day sits when I'm in a tree before the sun comes up, and I don't leave the tree until the sun goes down.
That's why I always pack you protein shakes, jerky sticks, but you just eat the candy bars.
Yeah, because it tastes like candy.
Especially these new ones we just got.
Oh my God.
We'll have to shout them out on a different podcast.
Okay. Cool. What else do you want to do before we wrap things up?
I think that's it. Just making sure that we're getting enough complex carbohydrates with keeping our blood sugar balanced. Protein's still important, side note, but yeah. It's National Nutrition Month, so we could talk about nutrition every podcast this month.
Oh wait, I thought we already did that.
Oh. All right. Well, cool. Keep your heart healthy. Keep moving. Eat your greens.
Right? It's important. I think the biggest take-home message, the biggest summary is what we spoke about in those last few minutes, where heart health is important for the overall quality of life, because the vast majority of people are not living their life to the fullest and then one day just fall over from a widowmaker's heart attack or something like that. Yes, it does happen. However, it is a very, 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 very small percentage of the overall epidemic we have in this country of heart disease. That's the thing. That's the real take-home message.
Right. Agreed.
Cool. So it was very nice to be back with you on this. It was a lot of fun. I recorded about 10 whole seconds of video that we're going to try to put out with this audio so that people can get a snapshot of our wonderful podcast room and our ergonomically correct bar stools that we're sitting on up here. I got the closet doors open to help with our acoustics.
Oh, maybe one day we'll have a real podcast room.
Until then, we're going to keep on keeping on, baby. So have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in, and we will not see you, but hear you next week.
Ciao for now.
See ya.
Thank you for subscribing on your social media and podcast platforms to the Berman Method. Dr. Jake Berman with Berman Physical Therapy and Jenni Berman, Physician Assistant with Berman Health and Wellness. You can find more information on our website, www.bermanpt.com for physical therapy, bermanpt.com/wellness for the health and wellness. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and on your podcast platform. So be sure to follow us, like us, subscribe to us. And if you would like any further information, definitely visit our website and reach out to us. You may also find our free reports on the websites as well, where you can download this free information for yourself. Have a great day.